Hey there guys, how's it going? So first of all, a very happy new year to you. I hope you had a wonderful night. I hope 2018 is going well for you so far, and I really hope all the best for you in the coming year. Speaking of New Year's, we did get a little gift from our Grand Overlords at Cena. We get this lovely 10,000 jewel gift there, fantastic. Very appreciated, obviously. We got the same reward as the Japanese version, which is a good sign for the future, I assume. Meaning that if things keep going like the Japanese version does, maybe we'll keep getting lots of jewels the way that they do. Very nice. There are lots of things in the shop right now that will very happily come and take your jewels though. So I thought, let's have a quick chat about those before we all run off and go spend them immediately. And yeah, have ourselves a little chat. So, whenever I see foretellers in the store now, or just spoken about in general, the first thing I think about is bait. Straight away, it's bait. It's complete bait. Stop, don't spend your jewels. The reason why I think that is because, well, first of all, look at them. They're really nice looking medals. They have really big, flashy, powerful effects. They do a ridiculous amount of buffs, pretty solid damage, and I mean, they're the mascots of the game, for goodness sake. Like, whenever you encounter them in the game itself, they're always these very powerful opponents that used to be very tough to defeat until KHUx came along. And I mean, I think if you're a new player or someone who maybe doesn't get their information from sources like Reddit or community discussion or, bozos like me, you might think, this is a really good medals. And again, don't get me wrong, they are definitely good medals. But, you know what I'm going to say here? It's probably best if you skip them this time pretty much entirely. The reason why I'm saying that is because, one, the multipliers were pretty good when they came out, and even then they were kind of lacking behind. Well, let's take a look at what they are now, strength-wise. Alrighty, let's go ahead and have a look at the foretellers right now. So, Ava, for example, all the multipliers are exactly the same. So if you're hitting multiple targets, it hits with that nice little 3.32 there. Again, times that by 3 effectively because of the 200% multiplier, so it's just under 10. And 4.52 if you're facing just one single target. So again, times that by 3, so you're looking at what, 13.5 if you're versing just one single target. Okay, that sounds pretty good. But then consider medals that are out right now, okay? All targets, if you put this in the correct slot, a medal like this hits with a friggin' 4.60 multiplier. Compare that again to this one right here. Remember this one costs 20 pulls, 20 pull mercy, and only comes with a 3.32? Again, the banner that we had before, the debut deal, was pretty special, but I did about 10 pulls on that banner and I got like 3 or 4 copies of this guy right here. Enough to guilt him and get a nice couple traits on him as well. Again, I got pretty lucky with the traits, but still, that's going to come into play as well. What about single target medals? This might be cheating a little bit because this is a very extremely powerful single target medal and it's actually a high score challenge reward. But still, 6.60. 6.60, that is ludicrously powerful. And again, if this was at max skills, times that by what? 13.2, and then again, 19.8. Did I do that wrong? No, 19.80, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, the foretellers are cool, yeah. They have a pretty low cost, and they have the really nice buffs associated with it. But, I mean, unless you're very unlucky by now, and again, if you are, I am really sorry, because that fucking sucks. But the buffs are kind of negated in the fact that we can copy Kairi or Shion a million times over and have literally all of our buffs taken care of by this point right here. And from that point onwards, all we need is damage. So, the foretellers are nice, absolutely, don't get me wrong, but until they increase the buff cap, they don't really stand out so much anymore. Especially if you consider traits. Traits are a whole nother ballpark, but let's consider how many times it's going to take us, how many pulls, how many jewels spent it's going to take to reroll traits on a medal like this. And how long is it going to take to get a useful one? Again, I did a stack of pulls for that last debut deal, and I got some pretty nice friggin' traits. And, let's see. I think I got very lucky with this HD Lycine right here. First off, really nice guilt roll right off the bat. Friggin' ground enemy defense trait down. And I've got 2 more of those to keep rolling. I'm very excited to do that, actually. What I'm saying is that medals that are going to be much more common and much easier to obtain than these guys right here, even if the multiplier is a little bit lower, the traits are going to make up for it. Even if it takes you forever and ever to... Okay. Even if you can only pull very infrequently and only come across a medal really infrequently, I'm hoping that as banners go forward, there'll be like cutoffs. They'll be like, okay, only tier 6 and above, only tier 7 and above as we get more and more powerful. and we're just going to sort of leave the foretellers behind unless they come out really cheap as well. What I'm saying is that they are quite nice medals, but it's definitely a bait banner, and you guys could do much better with your jewels. And just really quickly, if you want to know the maths on how much it's going to take to, with really bad luck, get just one of these guys, it's going to be the 3,000 plus 25 plus 23 plus 21 plus 1,900 for the first 5 pulls to work down on the falling price, which is going to cost you 11,800, and then add to that the remaining 15 pulls at 1,900 apiece, which is 28,500 for a grand total of 40,300 jewels to guarantee yourself to get just one of these. Now, I will be fair, in all the times I've seen people pulling for these, I've either seen them get the medal that they want in the banner that they're pulling for before the 20 pull mark, or they picked up another foreteller along the way, or at least one other foreteller along the way. So it's not fair to, I mean, yeah, it is fair to say that the price is 40,000 jewels per foreteller, at least for the first one. I'm not going to check if the falling price consistency stays after you mercy pull it the first time. I assume it would. I doubt you're going to get one and then they're going to jack the price back up. That would be ridiculous. But I'm certainly not going to be the one to test it. Anyway, it's not really super fair to say the cost is 40,000 jewels per foreteller, because I do believe the rates will be better than that. But there will be that person that does the 20 pulls and doesn't get a single other medal, other foreteller up until that point, and it does take them 20 to pull it. So for every person with good luck, there's always someone with bad luck, guys. You've got to remember that in a gacha game like this. Anyway, alrighty, so what about Kairi EX? She's still in the shop, right? Well, yes, she is. If you are someone that doesn't have her yet, this is super tempting, right? Here's my thoughts on it though. If you haven't pulled from this particular banner yet, and therefore it's already set at 3,000, you're going to get maybe 3 or 4 pulls, and yeah, you might be lucky this time finally and get her, but again, you might be heartbroken for the 3rd or 4th time at this point. And I don't know how much more your heart can take at that point. It might just, fall to darkness or whatever. It is very worth noting though that Kairi EX will appear, well, I'll never say will, but if we are going to follow the Japanese version, they just got Kairi EX as like one of their VIP medals for the week. So it was only 1 copy, so you couldn't reroll traits. It had 0 dots on it. But the point was that you had a Kairi EX. And given that she's not about damage, she's just about the ridiculous amount of buffs that you can do and also copy. I think they'd be mad not to bring her out here as well in a VIP, just to guarantee that everyone could have a copy of her if they're willing to pay for VIP. So it is worth thinking, okay, I could try risk my 10,000 jewels on this now. If you are the kind of player that buys VIP regularly anyway, you might consider waiting at least a few more days to see, well, I guess this banner's going to run out before the end of the week, but I'd say they're probably going to do it. It's very likely that they will put Kairi EX in our VIP, just because people are going to be left behind, and it's really unfair at this point, so I can definitely see them doing it. So if you don't want to spend 10,000 jewels on the chance, and you'd much rather have the quote-unquote guarantee, because again, nothing is ever confirmed in this game, but the pattern says it's probably going to be there, I would probably start to wait. But okay, and the last one left here is Shion EX. Okay, so 10,000 jewels is 3 pulls towards this banner. If you're sitting at 12 pulls, it's a no-brainer. 12 pulls and you still haven't got her, then yeah, that's a bit of a no-brainer. But if you're like me and you're at 0 and you don't have that many jewels, again, like I always do, I'd suggest waiting. I'm starting to sound like that crazy old man who is shouting at the doomsday and telling everyone to save and save and save when I think everyone's out having a party with their new jewels. But I really honestly believe so strongly that as we approach parity with JP, there's going to be something amazingly tasty bait that's going to come out, and then after that there's going to be another game-changing medal that everyone's going to need to have. And I'm me personally, I'm saving up jewels for that day. Even if I'm wrong, then fine, at least I have some jewels in the future. I'm so fortunate that I already have a Kairi EX, so I really don't feel like I'm that disempowered. I'm not. I feel like I am actually quite strong in this game right now. But yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys are going to do with the jewels. There's plenty stuff to spend it on. Do you think you're going to save it up a bit more? Are you going to try a few more pulls on the Shion EX banner, on the Kairi EX banner? Are you going to go for the foretellers? I mean, honestly, they're not bad medals. I think like traits are the really... Sorry, I wanted to say. I forgot to say it now. Okay, these guys are Supreme Whalebait, right? They've literally set an exact price point on how many pulls it's going to take to guarantee you're going to get a foreteller, and it's at a discounted rate than before. These guys are super good if you have really good traits on them. The reason why other medals are potentially better is because it could be a lot easier to roll plus 1,000 strength, negative 60 ground, and negative 60 aerial. Any of those really, really beneficial traits that literally if you get any of those beneficial traits, they become better than an untraded normal gilted foreteller medal, just in the sheer amount of damage they're able to put out to high level enemies. So if you say to whales, look, we can now guarantee pick any foreteller that you want, it's going to cost 40,000 jewels a pop, and then less on the second reroll, to trait one of these every single time. You know damn well some of the big players are going to go for it. You know if they could be running around with these awesome foreteller medals that have negative 60 ground and negative 60 aerial and, I don't know, plus 1,000 strength or extra attack. Yeah, of course they're going to try and go for it. I mean, it's going to be very, very expensive. But the cool thing about that is that they potentially pick up other foretellers along the way. So while it is very, very, very pricey, they could end up with potentially 5 insanely powerful medals. Anyway, guys, I think I've ranted on long enough. I wanted to say that before, but I sort of forgot. So I'll leave you guys off with my free pull of the day. If you want to let me know what you're planning on picking up, doing with the 10,000 jewels. Are you going to save it? Are you going to spend it? Do whatever you like, guys. I will leave you with this pull, and I'll say Happy New Year's, and... Is that the Sorrow Omega one? Well, it's garbage, but at least it's pretty shiny 6-star garbage. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'll catch you later. Bye.